We're dealing with the loss of our good friend Tim Wilson this morning, or about an hour ago. We talked to James Gregory. We have another good friend of ours on the line right now who knew Tim, our man Killer Beaz. Good morning, Killer.
Hey guys, dadgummit.
I know,
man.
I know, buddy. Doggone it, man. You know, I think it just kind of helps. You know, when I was talking to James, we're talking about we have our memories of Tim. You know, we go by and James says, man, it seems got 30-year-old memories. It seems like just yesterday. And for those of us who were lucky enough to know Tim very well, and like you, James was telling us about when you and him and Tim were doing your tour and how, Killer, well, you knew him just as well as anybody, buddy. I know you got a heavy heart this morning as well.
Well, man, it is just so shocking. You know, I think all of us are still in that disbelief stage right now. You know, I was on stage in Birmingham at the Stardome where Tim was booked to be this weekend. And I got off stage and went to the green room and my phone was blowing up. And that's when I learned the news. And just thinking about it, man, Tim has just been like a staple in the business. He was the second comic that I ever worked with. And this has been 27, 30 years ago, something like that. And the new never wore off when you were with Tim because he was such a brilliant gentleman and such a prolific writer. You know, when we spent hours of stage time together. We did 1,000 miles together, driving to gigs and stuff. And it's one of those guys that boosts your own confidence. When I think about how nice Tim was to me and how he had me on his shows and stuff, kind of like the way you guys have done a bunch of us, you know, I mean, that helps build your confidence to know that you've got people that are that good at their job and their art form that believe in you. And Tim was like that to so many of us, man. We're just, and y'all know this, we're all just wigged out right now.
No, buddy. And I remember, Killer, I remember Tim telling the story about you the first time he saw you. Am I getting my stories mixed up? But I don't know. It might have been at a swimming pool or something he was doing, and you came up with a Barbie doll, and he said you were the funniest thing that he had ever seen. You did like 30 minutes with a Barbie doll. Does that sound familiar?
That's right, man. See, he knew me all the way back when I was a prop act.
Right.
He told that story often about me having that cigar box with Barbie doll and the few little props in it and stuff. And from day one when we worked together, dude, we just hit it off. And he, I looked up to him, man. I like everybody that worked with him, I was in awe every time I saw him on stage, you know. And it is so cool. I feel blessed and lucky, as I'm sure all you guys do, that we got to know him, you know. I mean, even Jackie and Tater and them got to share the stage with Tim on some of those tours that we did for y'all. And it was just, he brightened everybody that was around him, brightened everybody's day, and he was such a wealth of knowledge. I mean, he knew about every single thing that would ever come up. You know what I mean? You could have been in an airplane doing stunts, and then he'd have gone, you know how they make them latches on them airplane windows? And he could explain it to you.
I mean, that's the truth. And that is something that everybody we talk to, everybody says that because that's the truth. But just how well-rounded and
he knew
intelligent.
A lot, and he listened to other people talk, and then he would jump in. He knew what the conversation was about before he made his contribution. It wasn't about him. It was about what was going on.
Yeah, and it was real contributions. You're right. It wasn't that lame, me, I stuff that I used to do all the time. He really had, good ideas and things that were germane to the subject, you know. And I just wish I could hear him once again go, Killer, let me tell you something. Them people that come to our show, they're coming for one thing. That's to have a good time. So we're going to go out there and do it with them. You know, when I would do shows, I'd ask them, dude, I got, like, you want me to just do, like, 30 minutes in front of you or something? No, Killer Beaz, let me tell you something. Or Truett, he'd always call me Truett. Truett Jr., let me tell you something. Them people want to see us, so you go ahead and do your 45, then I'll do mine. And, you know, and he was just great like that, man. Never got rattled. Got pissed off, but never got rattled.
Right.
Yeah, I remember when he threw that heckler out himself. He threw a heckler out in Nashville a couple years ago.
Yep.
He would go.
Oh, the funniest Tim Wilson performance I ever saw was in Charlotte, and he basically, there was this group of people on one side of the room that just weren't really getting into it. And he went over and started talking to them, and it turns out it was some company that had an office in Charlotte, but they were all from Germany. He said, "You put a bunch of Germans in here?" And he did the rest of the show trying to get to the Germans. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Well, I'll tell you what, our listeners listening right now that had a chance to see Tim in concert, I'm glad for those of you who got to see him and experience Tim. Because, like you said, Killer, it's just a shock, and you never know when we're going to lose somebody. We aren't guaranteed anything in this world, so...
That's right, man. Hey, we're all reminded, hug your loved ones, but also, everybody, hug your life. Yeah. That was something else that Tim did. Tim was about really going out there and doing it the way he saw fit. So let's take care of ourselves while we're at it.
Yeah,
there you go.
That's it. Well, Killer, thanks for spending some time with us, buddy. We hope to see you again soon, and I know we'll be thinking about keeping Tim in our heart for years to come, and we'll keep him alive on a big show as long as we're doing this.
There you go.
I guarantee you that.
Good deal. Hey, thank you so very much, man, for having me on, and let me just tell people how much Tim meant and how much we can all mean. So thank you very much, guys.
All right. Thank you, Killer. Thank you, buddy. We love you. We'll see you soon.
All right, love you, buddy.